Alright, we are up and running, folks. Hello, Internet! A little late getting off the ground. Today, I was trying to get set up, and then I noticed, oh, the playlist is missing things. I need to go find those again. Apparently, when I updated external hard drive, it was like, oops, Persona 5 soundtrack went missing. Didn't. It was just on the different hard drive, and Freedom Planet soundtrack was missing. Oops, I uninstalled Freedom Planet. Have to get that reinstalled so I have that soundtrack again. Granted, I think Freedom Planet kept getting dinged on Twitch, so I think that's why I took it off. I know that's why I took off Dicey Dungeons, because it kept getting dinged on Twitch. Muted. I was like, why Dicey Dungeons of all things? What the fuck? But yeah, we're back to working on the OOO Chemy tonight. We're probably working on... Well, we're going to work on the wings. I might end up doing some dumb things about this neck. I'm not super happy with the neck part. This seems a bit too big. I might be doing some stuff off stream to like size that down. But yeah, hey Dev Spidey, how's it going? How you enjoying Three Houses? No, that's the thorax. It's a little hard to kind of parse on the image. I'll zoom it in on stream. But yeah, that's the kind of like thorax bit that's kind of present right here. Because you kind of can't see the other leg because it's blocked in the art by this wing. But yeah, that is a little thorax. It's a little blockier than probably it should be. Yeah. That dies back down. Let me guess. It's the academy, like running around the academy doing the busy work stuff. That's the issue, ain't it? Really? Oh. The combat? Oh. Okay, now I'm like, okay. What is classes? Okay. Okay, that I'm starting to get a clearer picture now. Okay, yeah, Fire Emblem classes are denoted by basically the weapon they use. That's what separates all the classes, basically. Or the core separation of classes is like, yeah, only... yeah, only certain people use... Yeah. There are stat up items, but they don't do that much stat ups. Yeah. You are running a class of students. I'm honestly curious who you picked. Class-wise. Ah, you picked Blue Lines, okay. You have chosen Mr. Fire Emblem's team, which I think it's the one I. That is not an incorrect statement. That is a very accurate statement to describe it. Because no, I understand. I picked the Black Eagles because I enjoyed most of those characters most, but like the Black Eagles are a hodgepodge of people just try. It's a hodgepodge of people, and the Golden Deer are Claude and all these random folks that ended up here. I'm gonna be honest, the Golden Deer. Oh, what? Is it the names? Okay, here's the thing. The people within the houses are from different parts of their nations. So there is different hierarchies. Because, like, technically they are the leader of their specific part of the country. Oh, don't worry. That'll make sense eventually. That I can promise. It'll make sense eventually. Oh. Fair. I adore Three Houses. Mm-hmm. Fair. I adore Three Houses. It's not the greatest on the back end, mainly just due to oops, ran out of time. We gave you the best ending possible we could for all the routes. But they really could have used maybe one last route to beef up the other three more. But I think I still prefer Path of Radiance. Okay, I'm not sure what that... Wait, what's the tutorial wrong about? Oh. Okay. Yeah, because it's... you have to... A unit has to have... double the speed of the unit they're battling to double them, I believe. I think that's what it is. I have to look this up. Because I forget it sometimes. Because it's the same in all Fire Emblem games, if I recall correctly. Oh! Okay. I thought you meant double attack as in the character attacking twice. A character attacking twice, not two characters attacking one target. Double team attack. I'm trying to remember that mechanic because it's been a while since I played Three Houses. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do not remember this mechanic. I don't think I used it. Oh, Skyward. I mean, the first Zelda game I played was Hyrule Warriors, so at least you got to play a proper Zelda game for your first one. I played the Muso. Yeah, it is. It is motion controls the video game. Where am I gonna go? Where we like it? Oop. Huh. Well, it worked. Crashed. Well, that just happened. I was moving a line and it was like But yeah, like the Skyward Sword, they really wanted to emphasize the motion controls with that one. Because that was basically that was the first proper Wii Zelda. Because Twilight Princess got ported to Wii, but it wasn't made for Wii. It was made for GameCube. And I think the only other Zelda that was really made for Wii at the time was Crossbow Training. So that's probably the official Zelda timeline that's in like Hyrule Historia. Where is it? Is that the current one? Oh, good. It's on. See, here's the thing. The Zelda timeline is in fact a real thing. By Nintendo. It is in their lore book that they released, which is called Hyrule Historia. Here is the Zelda timeline. The official, real Zelda timeline that they came up with, incidentally, around when Skyward Sword released. No. They're reincarnations. They get reincarnated every time. Because Ganon gets reincarnated every time. Fair. So it basically goes from Skyward Sword to Minish Cap to Four Swords to Ocarina. And then, because of timeline shenanigans in Ocarina, you have, hey, you beat the game. Here's the one where Link got sent back in time so he could have a childhood again. And that is where you get Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, and Four Swords Adventure. But then you have the adult timeline where Link doesn't exist because he got sent back in time. And that's all the Wind Waker stuff, basically. Yes, that's called time travel. You're in the Temple of Time. That was time travel. The game is called Ocarina of Time. They're not lying. That's not just, ooh, a fancy title. No, there's time travel shenanigans in Ocarina of Time. No, Link doesn't exist. Zelda still exists. There's a difference. But yeah, then you have the arbitrary... Don't worry, there's more. Then you have the arbitrary, oops, you got a game over in Ocarina of Time. That's what leads to basically all of, like, the NES and adjacent Zeldas, because that's Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, the Oracles. Oh, no, hang on, I'll get to that. But yeah, here's Oracles, Link Between Worlds, Triforce Heroes, Zelda 1 and 2. So here's the thing. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, as described by the developers, is said to take so far forward into the future that it basically is disconnected from the timeline. Yes, it does. See, it's right there. It's not one of the CDI Zeldas. You see, there's no CDI Zeldas here. Those are the ones that don't exist. Zelda 2 exists and is real. But yeah, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom are said to take place so far in the future that they're disconnected from the timeline. Also, there's references to all three of these split timelines of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, basically, so... Who fucking knows? The Zelda timeline is wonderful. I love the Zelda timeline. Yes, the Triforce is the same. It's a question of whether or not it gets relevant. It becomes relevant in any game. Because it's not relevant in Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. And like, it... Fair. But yeah, no, like... Granted, this is the updated timeline for, like, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. Do they have the... Is this the... one pulled from Hyrule Historia? Yeah. This is the actual, like, the original form of it from Hyrule Historia, which was the lore book they released when, like, Skyward Sword came out. Or after Skyward Sword came out. But this is, like, the original version of the timeline. Before they tacked on Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, like here-ish. Look. If anyone tells you that Nintendo has had this forever and they just put it out in a book, they're lying to you. I absolutely refuse to believe that Nintendo had any sort of plans or lore about a Zelda timeline. I refuse to believe that. If they ever say those words, they are lying. I refuse to believe it. They put this together because people would not shut the fuck up about it. People banged on forever about a Zelda timeline. People pretty much annoyed Nintendo into giving them a Zelda timeline, and so Nintendo crapped out a Zelda timeline so people would shut the fuck up. But now people won't shut the fuck up because they're like, what the fuck is this timeline? What is... Because basically, it all... Because this... People get so fucking annoyed about this branch of the timeline because it's so arbitrary. Because this makes sense with Ocarina. Because this is actually how Ocarina plays out. There is 2 timelines in Ocarina because of Zelda's actions. But this arbitrary canonical game over that basically is like, well, this is where we basically put the original batches of Zeldas. No, it doesn't have choices. In a story sense, it has a choice. Because at the end of Ocarina, Zelda decides that after Link saved the world and was basically robbed of his childhood because he was a child and stepped into the Temple of Time and got shot forward 7 years and became an adult in order to save the world. Zelda went, I'm going to give you your childhood back, and sent him back in time to warn her in the past about Ganondorf, and that is where you get basically the Wind Waker stuff. Or not the Ganondorf, the Wind Waker stuff, the Twilight Princess Majora's Mask, that stuff. The other timeline is the one that is without Link, but Hyrule was saved. He doesn't exist because that was the Link that was sent back in time to this timeline. Basically, Link was here. Zelda said, I'm sending you back 7 years as a child, and sent him here. There is no Link, because it was this Link to start with. There is no more Link. If it's confusing, don't worry. This is what happens when we try to, like, make sense of make a timeline out of things that were never meant to be a timeline, outside of very specific things, because, like, these 3 being in this order makes sense because it's how they were made. Because Phantom Hourglass is a sequel to Wind Waker, and then Spirit Tracks is just some hundreds of years after Phantom Hourglass. These are all basically this Link and Zelda. It's these 2 and then their descendants. And then if you go over here, like, yeah, these all make sense. Because these are basically the same style of Link. Yeah. Hourglass is a direct sequel to Wind Waker. Like a direct sequel. Like this, it is the same Link and Zelda in both of these. And then with Spirit Tracks, it is basically their descendants, like a future Link and Zelda that is in a, like, restored Hyrule. But it is still the same timeline of events. That was the wrong way to draw that, but it's still the same timeline of events, because Spirit Tracks still refers back to Wind Waker and Hourglass. But these three are... They were made to be canon with each other, which makes sense because this was made first, this was made second, this was made third. They were made to connect. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea. I think it's over here. I forget. I don't think it's in the updated timeline. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be in the Link to the Past stuff. Because it's basically the Link to the Past Hyrule. So it's basically somewhere in here. Because it's that same Hyrule and that same Link and all that same background stuff that you kind of see in these games. So it's somewhere in here. In this group. I just don't remember where. I know they placed it somewhere. I think they said it's after Link Between Worlds. Or like after Triforce Heroes. It's like one of these two slots right here. Because I remember they updated this stupid dumb thing for Echoes of Wisdom eventually. And it's like, it's right here. And I'm like, well, yeah, anyone could have told you that because it literally looks like a Link to the Past sequel. Which is basically what all of these are. Because if I remember correctly, the link in here is the same link here and the same link here. This is all the same link. That's a different link, but the same world. And then that's 3 different links, but the same world. But yeah, there's your primer on the dumb Zelda timeline. And if you bring Hyrule Warriors into the mix, I'm pretty sure a Zelda lore person will have an aneurysm. If you ask them, where does Hyrule Warriors fit in all this? And they'll be like... Because that one is just like, hey, here's the Ocarina folks crossing over with the Twilight Princess folks crossing over with the Skyward Sword person. Because Skyward Sword only gets one person in that game. Whereas I think every other representation gets 2. At least of heroes. Aw. I want to keep it. Because they wanted folks on mobile to play it. That's it. That's the only reason. Not the... I wanted to check that line. Oh, Odyssey. I enjoyed my time with Odyssey. I really enjoyed it. And it actually... Nope. The other way. Okay. Should probably... That's probably going to do something stupid. I'm just happily playing Super Robot Wars Y off stream and just being like, I'm enjoying this game. I love it. I'm enjoying all the little character interactions and stuff. Hmm. Let me kick that a little bit. How do I do that? Have to... That's... Because this is our slot, yeah. Take it from the side. Yeah, Nintendo has always been a very, like, gameplay first kind of company. They've... Like, that's why a lot of their major franchises, there's not a whole lot of plot to it. Like... Come... Up. Probably kick... Counts. Down. There. It's the third one. Not a curve. Oh, no, no. Oh, wait. Okay, that's what I'm after. That be big. That, I hope that's big enough. All right, I want it. That is in line with that. Out. Four out. Okay, that looked long. Oh yeah, they're doing a... I forgot that they were doing a Splinter Cell animated movie. From the Tomb Raider folks that did that one animated movie. I have not seen it. Where's face? I can just do this the hard way. Alright, doesn't want to cooperate. I'm doing this all wrong. That's probably the best one. I I was messing with Super Robot Wars sprites this past week. Wanted to add in some Symphogear sprites from their mobile game into a wallpaper collage. It looks like a mess that I was working on. End up having to figure out how to work spines from basically video games. Basically came down to, you basically need this program and you pretty much need someone to have done the work beforehand for you to be able to muck with anything. And part of that is just like inverse kinematics, and I just like have war flashbacks basically involving inverse kinematics. Okay, yeah, I need a little less aggressive. That'll work. Hmm. Uh, have you looked for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? That's technically what it is. Yeah, it's Switch stuff's a little hard to get a hold of. All right, I need to cut the here. What, 10 by 5? It's 10, yeah, 10 by 5, 10 deep. I'm trying to think of what even Switch games would I recommend. I just look over my shelf. Granted, I can't read any of the spines. Like, I adored the Xenoblade Chronicles series. Honestly, I don't know if I would recommend the Paper Marios on Switch. Like, I kind of bounced on Origami King. I would absolutely recommend the Xenoblades. Obviously, you can't play 3 if you've not played 1 and 2. That's not gonna work. That's a bad idea. So it's more of a case of, do you want to play 1 definitive edition or 2? And there's kind of downsides to both, because it's like, well, if you play 1, it is the little bit more of the... I think it shows its age a little bit more. I have no idea what that is. But 2 is the... It's the waifu game. Oh yeah, the Xenoblades are RPGs. Oh yeah. Oh, is that what you mentioned? Because I feel like I've memory hold that one because it was like so bleh. Oh yeah, yeah, that one. I memory hold that one so bad because it was like, well, this was kind of blah. Wait. Nope, I'm doing this wrong. Actually, give me a second. I have an easier way to... I just grabbed my case that has all my Switch games in it. This kind of like little double-sided magnetic case. I adore Astral Chain. That's a platinum action game. If that is something that floats your boat. This is when platinum was still good, mind you. I enjoy the Hyrule Warriors games. Tokyo Mirage Sessions is, for me at least, a fairly underrated RPG. If you're looking for a Persona that's not a Persona, but it's still basically made by the Persona folks, that's something. The Mario plus Rabbids games are good. But I'm a tactics guy, so I enjoy anything tactics wise. It is so much better than I think anyone will ever give it credit for on first look. Because you're like, ooh, Rabbids and Mario, but I'm like, it's a really fucking good tactics game. Imagine a tactics game that is about movement tech. And like the base game, like it does it a good bit, but once you step into the Donkey Kong expansion they did for the first game, you're like, oh fuck. Oh my god, there's so much untapped potential, because it's like, oh yeah, I can start doing laps around this map as Donkey Kong in like one turn, and all this stuff I can do. Wonder's really good. I enjoyed Ultimate Alliance 3 for what it was. But I'm an old Marvel Ultimate Alliance head, so of course I would. I enjoyed the Splatoons. The Pokemon Snap that's on Switch is really good. I know it came and went, but like it's really good. It's really pretty. The fact they have like day and night versions of the areas and they have unique Pokemon and unique things about both of them is like really good. I'd also recommend like Valkyria Chronicles 4. You can hop into that one without any other Valkyria Chronicles game. Yes. Yeah, the World War II tactics game. The fourth one is on Switch. I think the first one remastered is on Switch as well. What is... like I said, you don't have to have played any other Valkyria Chronicles game to play 4. Technically, you don't have to play any Valkyria Chronicles game to play any of them besides 2, because 2's the only direct sequel. Peace. I don't know. I don't think it's on Switch, but there is a. Actually, I think it is. No, it's on Switch because they haven't. They're not doing a Switch version of it at the moment, but it's on Steam. There is a demo out for Time Stranger ahead of it coming out in like a couple weeks. And it is one of those that you get progress carryover on it. I did a quick one run through of it, and it's like, this feels good in all the right ways. Ooh, that is too deep. Back this out by like 2 millimeters. That should be enough. Back it out. I can go in an extra millimeter, but that's fine. Hmm. was about to say Breath of the Wild doesn't have motion controls, but you're probably talking about Skyward Sword. unless no, Breath of the Wild doesn't have motion controls. Does it? Also, Ni no Kuni is a good choice. I know nothing about these games though. No, that's all control stick. That's not motion controls. Unless you can use motion controls for it, you can turn that off. It's about like how Splatoon technically has motion controls on 2 and 3. Because you can like do like the sensitive aiming with the controller, but you could turn that off. I've turned that off. Oh, that. Okay, I realized why something wasn't going in the right spot. I actually put it in the wrong folder. I put it in my STL folder and instead of my STL part folder. I was like, why is there no parts here? Because I have a parts folder for like the raw components, and then I have an assembly folder for basically the files like this where everything's together. I'm just like, do I want to work on the head today? Or do I want to save that for next week? Because I know it's going to be a process. I feel like I have an idea of how to tackle it. I just might mess with, like, some of the stuff in here before I do it. Yeah, might do that. I guess I can show... I have to find the picture real quick. Stupid, dumb, super robot worst thing I worked on. It's basically me just slamming assets into a Photoshop file. This is the background I worked on. It is nothing impressive. It is also a mess. Because it is busy as hell. But I was like, I want to put all the units that from the shows and stuff I like into like one collage. And it's like, oh, that's a lot actually after a while. Because I think somebody asked this and I feel like I pulled SRW X and T or V and X sprites. But I'm kind of doubting myself because I don't think I did. I might have only pulled T30 Y and DD sprites. And the Symphogear XDU sprites, which technically those aren't technically the raw sprite files that I have, because I'll grab their website real quick. This site Mechanical Savior, which is like a block spot. They do the God's work of just being like, here is a bunch of SRW sprites. Amongst other things, like here is like all the things you can just grab for Y if you desire to do anything with that. Amongst like basically all the stuff you see down this left side. It's the godsend of work. But yeah, all the sprites are pulled from their file dumps. The only thing I had to do for the XDU was like get a program to like reassemble these and attach them to like the inverse kinematics of them. Because just to kind of show it, here is what the raw sprite file looks like. Or here's what the sprite file looks like after I put it into the program. And it's taken as a screenshot in the program. Because sprite-wise, I have to find my folder real quick. And find the correct folder. Because the folders are basically E for enemies, and then a series of 4 digits. And then for basically all your playable units, they are SG, and then a series of 2 units. It's magical girl armor, don't worry about it. I think this is the SV? No, that was one of the X-Drive ones. Is that the XV one? Yes? Yes, okay. Here is the raw sprite file. As you can see, it's in pieces. I'm used to seeing this because I've been messing with sprite files from All Rider Revolution, or actually several of the Rider 3DS games, and the sprites are like this. Because technically, there is like a... I don't know if I can get this. There's like a body structure. That's unviewable on Hibiki. Like a dark color. A black will do. There's basically like a skeletal structure that connects the sprite pieces together that allows for movement. I draw this out as best I can. And at every one of these like pivot points is where the sprite is layered to kind of like hide the fact that it's like broke up like this. And all of this is apparently done by inverse kinematics, which I know what inverse kinematics is. I had to derive that shit by hand. It fucking sucks. Like, let me see if I can grab an inverse kinematics equation. Because inverse kinematics is basically the math of this. Of stuff like this. Of any sort of multi-arm structure and how that moves and all the angles and stuff that are a part of it. That's not it. That's not it, technically. But, well, that's part of it. That's not the shit part. I have to go. I have to find the picture on my phone. Or do I have a picture of it? I did have to upload that for the class. See if I can find it. Might have deleted it off there. Yeah, I think I deleted it off there. I have a picture on my phone. You get to see my shit ass handwriting. Because like I said, for my class, I had to derive this shit by hand. And bear in mind, it is really easy to fuck this up. This is all for one thing. All of these equations, they are for one thing. One thing. I told you my handwriting shit. Yes, one thing. One triangular structure. All of this is for one thing. To determine how this moves at all times and what limitations there are present in it. Like, if you're wondering, like, how does a robotic arm move? It's in first kinematics. It's kinematics. Like the R... Yes. We use sine, we use cosine, we use tangent. We use them all, baby. Because we also have to derive these equations. Like, that's this what I just showed, that's step one. That's figuring out the questionings. Now you gotta take the derivative of all that in order to solve it. Yeah. Welcome to being an engineer. Sometimes we have to use that shit. But yeah, all of the R's are these links of these bars. The thetas, which are little like zeros with a line through them, that's the angles that it can operate at. So, yeah. Inverse kinematics sucks and it gives me nightmares. I never want to have to do it again. Or, I never want to have to do it by hand. I have to do that shit by hand, I will fucking cry. Because the smallest error in your interpretation of what it's supposed to be, the smallest error, the wrong sign, just this negative was supposed to be a positive, you're wrong. You're just wrong. And you won't know you're wrong until you're done. And once you're done, once you're like 12 steps into this, and you find out that you're wrong, you're having to go back through all this bullshit and be like, oh, fuck, what was it? Where did I screw up? It is hell. It is hell. Having to do that by hand was like the worst thing I had to do in school. And I never wish to do it again. Because while you have to derive all the equations by hand, you are not calculating the equations by hand. Except if you're doing for a test that I had to do. No, you're actually plugging this into a program, encoding it, and having it run the numbers. And you're giving it the numbers it's supposed to run, and then you're supposed to like animate it. Basically, that was like 90% of what I had to do in that class. But yeah, having the kinematics done for this stuff was nice, because I was like, I don't want to have to deal with that. I don't want to have to figure that out. And so I just grabbed like the core 7 girls and put them in here. The main 2 are here because how this is set up in this chaos is here are your SRW OC units. Oh, why did you do that? I did not hold you down. There's all your SRW OC units. Here are... Oh, got a little offline. There's all your... Why are you... doing that? There's the main character units for all the different series that have been present in SRW games. There is everybody else from those respective units. And then these are like 3 of the extra battleships from different series. And then here's all the Macross Delta ships. At least 5 of them. There is an order to the chaos. I also love that I can just hide the Pac-Man robot right there. And nobody will probably question it unless it's pointed out to them. And it's like, wait a minute. Fuck you mean Pac-Man has a robot? Yeah, he has a super robot. He talks too. He just goes waka waka, but it's translated. No, it's Pac-Man piloting the Pac-Man robot. See if I can find it. I won't have audio because I haven't, like... I'm not on the correct browser for it, but... See, it's Pac-Man piloting a Pac-Man robot. He fires the fruit as an attack. He has a double rocket punch. Also, I'm guessing power cookie is a Japanese terminology thing because it should be power pellet, but that might be just in the English translation of Pac-Man, it's supposed to be power pellet. And his super is like to turn you into a ghost and eat you and send your ass packing. It's wonderful. They should put him in a mainline game. and not just in the mobile game. Yeah, we're gonna work on the head next week. Schedule for the week though, tomorrow. I'm gonna do a little bit of Honkai Star Rail stuff before the new update that is next week, I believe. I do appreciate they're like, hey, next update's banner is Dark March and Dong Hung, who locked in. Don't worry, we're going to give you the Dong Hung for free. And I'm like, fantastic. I don't have to pull for him. I just have to pull for Dark March. Yeah, doing that tomorrow. And we have Ultimate Muscle on the GameCube and another Disney sports game. I can't wait for that menu to be exact same. I can't wait for us to get to the last one and somehow that menu and opening and all the music and stuff is somehow different. And we'll be upset when that happens. That's tomorrow. Saturday, I'm a little bit of Halo before we hop into Sonic Mania. I'm not sure what we're doing specifically for Sonic Mania, other than just running through Sonic Mania, see how far we get. Like, me and Tommy have both played through Sonic Mania. So, it might just be us casually just rolling through it together. Sunday, we're going to do Fortnite. I'm going to try to get the Megazord in Fortnite, since the Megazord is pilotable in Fortnite. I assume it's like the Godzilla thing, where you have to, like, rush to the spot where it spawns and get in it, and then you can go fuck shit up. I'm going to try to get that and do that on stream. But that's Sunday, and then we're doing TGS Sunday this week. We'll talk about the Direct, amongst other stuff. I don't think really anything else has come out but the Direct, to be honest. So it'll just be us kind of like talking more about the Direct. I know on the YouTube, I missed timing dates. So yes, I thought I was good through yesterday. I was not. For backlog upload or backlog publishing. But I got it done now. It's good through tomorrow, I believe. Let me check and see. Yeah, good through tomorrow. I'm gonna sit down after stream. Get the next like couple days, probably at least the next couple days scheduled, because that'll be Saturday and Sunday. I believe it should be good for Saturday and Sunday, and then all right, Dubs buddy, you have a good night. Saturday and Sunday should be good for TGS backlog updates. I think Tuesday will only have one because that'll be the last one of 2022. I'm pretty sure. Might be wrong on that. But that should be the last one. That should cover TGS's 2022s. And then, as I was looking through it, it's basically TGSRs that we did in 2022 is what's left of that year. So, coincidentally enough, since the Ace Attorney music hit, our run-through of the Ace Attorney anime will be the first one out. I've actually got the playlist organized ahead of time. I just have to get everything dated, descriptioned, and tagged and going. Hey, the playlist is on shuffle. Shuffle. If it decided to throw me an Ace Attorney song when I was going to mention Ace Attorney, then so be it. Let's see. But that should be the backlog stuff going forward. I also note, do have to find it. Wait, did I forget the schedule? Castlevania. Oops. I just realized I forgot to schedule Castlevania. Because I look here and I'm like, wait, that private thing. Oh, yeah, that should be the thing that's supposed to be private. Oh, wait, no, that's not. Those are delisted. Oops, I forgot to schedule Castlevania. Okay, I have to do that. That'll probably take a priority slot on Saturday. But yeah, if you absolutely want to see me play Zenless from last week and hear me and Tommy talk a little bit about the Direct and debug stuff, that video is technically delisted. It's linked in the proper Cube Tales pre-show from last week and the us attempting Metroid Prime Multi-World before we got the Take-Two on it to do it properly. That's delisted as well. Both of them are linked in the descriptions of the respective, like, proper video. So if you're looking for those, they are there. I just delisted them because it's like, yeah, most of this is us fiddling about with shit. Wow, yeah, I actually listed everything and I just didn't schedule it. I'm stupid. I'm gonna schedule that right now. I'm dumb. But yeah, that's kind of like the backlog situation going forward, since I was just kind of out of it last week, just mentally. Kind of lost a week in terms of getting all that stuff out, but we're getting it chipped away, slowly but surely. Just have to, like, muster up the motivation. I think I have an idea of how, like, I want to do it, to, like, have a better consistency on doing it, so I'm not, like, slamming through, like, 16 videos in, like, a night. But yeah. So, if you want to see all that, exclamation point YouTube and chat. That's the YouTube archive for this and all of our streams. Exclamation point social and chat gives you the handles for all our social medias, so you know when they're live. Exclamation point Discord and chat gets the link. Drop by, say hi. See you tomorrow, folks.